But I feel as though, like what happened with you in the book, that there was where the cult of love, the attachment and the identity with love could be the very thing that stops me or forces me to leave the most loving relationship I've ever had in my life.
You will have to decide what you are committed to. Are you committed to her, or are you committed to serving her open to God?
To serving her open to God, for sure.
Okay, let's stop there for a moment. If it ever came to a point where your presence in her life was no longer serving her open to God as much as your absence would, where would your commitment lead you?
Yes, it would inevitably lead to separation in that situation.
But you would be maintaining your commitment. There are false commitments or shallow commitments, and there are deeper commitments. Does she want you to commit to being with her even if it's the worst thing for both of you? You might have to make some choices that are very painful and difficult, and ongoingly painful and difficult. And you need, as I was saying to the woman earlier, a circle of friends who can give you feedback. Let's say you two have to separate. Is she growing better without you than with you? Are you growing? Is the world being served in ways that weren't being served before? Does she want you to commit for the rest of your life to do your best to open her to God and for her to open you to God? Possibly she commits to that. Let's assume so for the moment. In that, it's an absolute commitment. It's a commitment that never wavers whatsoever. But since bodies waver and minds waver, you don't commit to bodies and minds, you commit to the divine.
Yeah.
And your life becomes lived by something far beyond anything you could comprehend. You never know where you're going. You don't know who you are. No relationship, no security. There's no foundation whatsoever to your life except you are being lived by an absolute intensity of love or consciousness.
You see, from the moment I saw you, this is my language, but I saw you as a killer, The real thing, I sense death around you. Death, I mean the death of the ego, the death of identification, the really spiritual warrior. And it freaks me out. Because I can do two things with a sense from you. Either play the sexual, make our relationship better, or I can truly get what you say in a much deeper way. And then you're free-falling. And it's just very scary.
It's very scary. And we all do that, you call me the slayer of the ego and so forth, but I get upset when I get a stain on my pants. So it's, we're all doing the same thing. We want to keep things a certain way. And those are just amusements.
It's just the safety in the love, trusting the love.
Trusting love.
Trusting the love.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
What human evolution is trusting love, or trusting that everything is love so intensely that you're no longer afraid. As children, we depend on our parents for love. They don't always give it to us. They're not enlightened. So we develop ways of little tiny secret habits of loving ourselves. Mommy doesn't love me. I'll go into my room and eat. I'll go into my room and masturbate. I'll go into my room and do this. I'll go outside and play. I'll find another man who will love me if Mommy and Daddy won't love me. We do things that we hope will get us love. And eventually we grow, that's what I call the first stage. We eventually grow beyond that into the second stage. And in the second stage, we learn to love ourselves. We go, I don't need a man, I don't need masturbation, I don't need candy, I can just love myself. I love myself, I'm beautiful the way I am, I deserve love, everyone's responsible for them, I'm responsible for myself, I can love myself. And you put little things on your refrigerator that says, you're worthy of love, and you repeat things to you. And that doesn't work either. That's just a form of separation. You are everybody. It's not like they have their deal and you have your deal. It's one deal. We're all just animating mistrust of love unless we're opening as love.
So the choice is separation or love, basically. That's the bottom line.
And separation is fear. So you're either afraid, you're doing fear, or you're doing love. But when you're doing love, you're just coinciding with what is true, that you are love. And so there's an effortlessness to it, but the practice is intense because those rubber bands of fear are so habitual that they keep coming back, and unless you then counteract them, doing love. Now love is who you are, so you're just doing what you are. In that sense it's effortless. But since you tend to do fear, you have to counteract that. If you could find that place in you now, because you are there now too, that place that is love, that is wide open, that is consciousness, that is love, continually, and reside there, offer that, be that. That's free fall that you were talking about. So in a third stage relationship, you would actually agree to violate all preferences for the sake of love. You would actually agree that both of you are willing to suffer through or to enjoy whatever occurs when you allow love to live you, when you allow the deepest possible love or consciousness or divinity to unfold through your relationship. What is going to be the consequences of that? You don't know until you do it. Maybe it means you get divorced. Maybe it means you stay married forever. Maybe it means you take other lovers. Maybe it means you never have sex again. Maybe you become celibate. Maybe you have sex 10 times a day. Who knows how love would move through you?